automating a workflow in RPA is kind of the easy part, but or it might not be easy always, but when going forward in the life cycle of an RPA automation, the more trickier part is to ensure that the solution is up and running 24/7 or whatever the time it should be running. So there's basically two main areas that needs to be considered, where one is ensuring the business continuity of the solutions that are running in production. And this means that if you have a process or workflow that has been automated and that should be running every Monday at 4 a.m., then ensuring that it really does it, because it doesn't, of course, create any value to any organization before it does its run and executes its processes. Of course, in the business continuity area, there are several different topics to consider, not just ensuring that stuff runs, but also ensuring the kind of the change management and the total life cycle of the RPA solution. We have in Europe, we already seen this kind of situations where organizations have started the RPA journey, let's say in 2014, 2015, and they have created their first processes back then, which have been kind of living after that point quite, one could say, in an organic way, that there is requests from the business units and so on to make new features to the solution, add new workflows for it, and so on. And if this process is not tracked or logged in any way, then you might end up in a situation which has actually already happened in some cases, that the RPA solution becomes a big black box, and in the worst case, you haven't documented it. And what we had just a case example at one customer where one of their bigger workflows automated with RPA needed to be reviewed and refactored and audited, but actually no one anymore really understood what was happening in it. And actually the people who had been manually working with the process or workflow back in the day were already assigned to new tasks, or they had even exited the organization. So they had this very tricky situation of no one actually really knowing what the process was about. And this can, of course, easily be handled with ensuring that you have the documentation in place, you have procedures in change management and so on in place. Then what we see, this business continuity part is something that quite many organizations struggle with, and it actually makes it so that many organizations don't really want to automate the more critical RPA solutions because of the data, exactly the points that you brought up in about data insights that we're having, about that you are afraid of automating something more critical and giving it away from the manual labor in a way. And because you're not sure that does it run, and because of RPA seen as a bit of a more having a bit of a more dependencies and target applications, making it more easy to fail. And then of course the continuous improvement part, as continuous improvement and production productivity part is extremely important. And as you took up in there, quite many organizations have automated quite a small amount of solutions in their organization. And one key issue there is, of course, that you do the couple of first deliveries, and the developer that is working has been working on deliveries, then maintaining it further on, and this makes it so that the developer is not able anymore to deliver new solutions and so on. Then, of course, using your RPA platform in an optimal way is a very important factor in the productivity improvement area as well, that we see that organizations should focus on. We're seeing that quite many organizations having, let's say, 10 licenses or virtual machines or robots are utilizing them on a utilization rate of let's say 30 to 40%. So they are not even using the full potential of their farm in a way. And this is something that you should also consider in when building up the whole operations for the RPA unit.